Different communication frameworks don't come with labels saying use me here, but there's one method that works for almost any workplace scenario, and this is it. The STAR method can be applied to anything from sprint updates to vendor calls. It brings everything we learned in this series together. Start with the situation. Give a brief, objective overview of what's happening. Just the facts, no opinions, and no blame. This is where you use clear English from video one. Then transform the situation into why it matters to the people you're talking to. This is audience adaptation from video two. Next, outline the action or your solution focused plan. Present the options with clear trade offs. Use collaborative language from video three. We could, not you need to. Finally, give them the result, the expected outcome, and what happens next. Concrete conclusions and clear next steps work for any conversation. This is an email that doesn't work well. Starting with urgent in the subject line creates panic and defensiveness before they even open it. Serious security vulnerability sounds accusatory. OWASP means nothing to non developers, including me. Needs to be corrected immediately and must be fixed today. These are demands, not requests. No explanation, no help offered, just blame and urgency. The STAR method completely changes this whole message and makes it much easier to receive. It's firm about the security issue, but collaborative in tone. We aren't the security police, we're a colleague helping solve a problem. The receiver of this message will respond much better than they would to urgent problem. Let's look at how to explain a project delay to a client where the development time will take twice as long as expected because the payment processor discontinued their service. We'll start out with the big picture by explaining what happened without blaming anybody. The fact that the payment processor stopped offering their service isn't anybody at our company's fault. We also showed due diligence when we said we checked with three other processors and made this relevant to the client by saying how it'll affect their budget and their timeline. The options we present show professionalism by evaluating alternatives with clear trade offs. And we made a recommendation and gave our reasons for it. Since we provided an overview of the information they need and the options first, when we set a specific deadline, they know what we need from them and when we need it. Framing messages like this makes communication more effective and gets work done without harming relationships. What we want to avoid when we deliver bad news is being vague, blaming other people, presenting problems without offering solutions, using technical terms with people who may not completely understand them, and failing to give a clear path forward. Look at this situation and think about how you'll structure an email to the facilities director using the STAR method and present it to the board of directors in an inverted pyramid style presentation that incorporates the STAR method. This email starts by explaining the context and acknowledges that the director's primary concern is the timeline. It clearly transforms the security requirement into terms that are relevant to them. The two options for them to consider and the recommendation makes the path forward clear. The executive presentation starts out with the big picture before giving more relevant information and the options. It ends with our recommendation before we open the floor to questions. The big difference is that the email provides more context and acknowledges the director's concern about the timeline, while the presentation's more direct and focused on the business decision. Both use the STAR method, but adapt the tone and level of detail for the audience. Same facts, same honesty, different density. The developer who can communicate clearly is the developer who gets things done, builds strong professional relationships, and advances their career. You have the technical skills. Now you have the communication skills too. Go out there and make an impact. Thanks for watching this series, and I'll see you in the next one.